Hello again, it's Thursday and we're getting through this week. Obviously we've had a few pretty big sessions, so well done if you're still feeling good and you're still raring to go. Today's focus is upper body pulling. Now we're going to start with some coach-led practice and progressions, and like I typically will do when I program a gymnastics class, there'll be a leveled approach. Now I have defined today's levels, and the levels are quite specific, so you might not find that you fit into one of the levels perfectly, but that's okay because you can kind of pick and mix between some of the movements in other levels to get to a really good combination of movements which will help you progress and help you develop good positions and overall strength. So I'll put the definition of what the levels mean on Wodify so you can see that, but essentially the levels are structured very similarly to each other. So the first little bit is going to be to develop strength, because part of getting better at pull-ups, or kipping pull-ups at least, is having a really good foundation of upper body pulling strength. So that's going to essentially vary from banded pull-ups to a jumping negative to the full strict pull-up rep, depending on what level you're on. The second part is about positions in the dynamic movement of the kip swing. So levels 1 and 2 both will then incorporate some kip swings, whereas level 3, we're looking to start to develop some smaller kips towards the butterfly rotation movement. So if you looking to develop butterfly pull-ups, definitely stick in level 3, alright? But there's going to be a very strict prerequisite before we start doing butterfly pull-ups, mainly for safety reasons, because it's a stressful movement on the shoulder and the shoulder joint, so it's important that we have that resilience in the shoulder already to be able to take the demand of the butterfly movement. Now the final bit is, or the final movement within each level, is the movement that you're going to be doing in today's workout. Whether it's a jumping pull-up, a kipping pull-up, or a butterfly pull-up, that's where you start to practice that movement ahead of today's workout. Today's workout then is interval based, but there's a total work requirement, and I think we did this back in week 1, where there was a total work requirement of 300 double unders, and if you've got to the 300 double unders before the intervals were over, you finished the workout. Same thing here, where we're working for a minute and a half, resting for a minute and a half, so 1-to-1 work rest ratio for 6 rounds. But if you get to the required work before the 6 rounds is over, then you get to chill, alright? But I think it's going to be very, very challenging to get there before the 6 rounds are over. In my head, and it's kind of weird to admit this, but I had this crazy idea of a workout and it kind of came together, and I was like, we've got to try it and see how it goes. So a little bit of an experimental workout, but I think it's going to be really fun. So essentially the gymnastics is layered. So within your minute and a half, you will always start on the Echo Bike or the Ski Erg, and then you'll always do wall balls. But then as soon as you've finished 30 pull-ups, you'll move to 20 chest to bar, and as soon as you've finished 20 chest to bar, you're going to do 10 bar muscle ups, or the scaled progression to that movement. So let's say I get through my calories on the Echo Bike and I do my wall balls and I have 45 seconds left of the total remaining interval, then I'm going to get to work on my pull-ups. I might not get through 30 pull-ups in the remaining 45 seconds, but I might. If I don't, then in the next interval I just have to pick up from where I left off until I get through all of the bar muscle ups. I don't think I explained that very well, and now I'm explaining it. I don't know if it even makes sense to me, but I think it will. Whoever's coaching will do a far better job of explaining that to you guys than I would. So get in, get really gymnastic-y, start developing the upper body pulling strength. I know it's a lot of you guys' goals to develop maybe a toes to bar or the strength to do a strict pull-up over the course of this year. Lots of you are very, very close, so the consistent work is really going to pay off. I'll see you in the gym.